What if I told you that you could transform your life by simply changing your habits? Intriguing, isn't it? This is the very premise of the renowned book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, penned by Stephen R. Covey. This classic work of literature isn't merely a guide to success, but a manual to transform one's life through the power of habits. Habits, the routines we follow daily, are like threads. Individually, they may seem insignificant, but when woven together, they form the fabric of our lives. They define who we are and who we become. Now imagine if we could consciously choose these threads, these habits. What kind of life could we weave then? That's the power of habits. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People introduces us to this concept, suggesting a framework of habits that can propel us towards personal and professional effectiveness. It's not about quick fixes or shortcuts to success. Rather, it's about developing a mindset and a set of behaviors that lead to sustained long-term effectiveness. The book begins by challenging our perception of the world, urging us to examine our paradigms and understand how they influence our actions. It then presents 7 habits, each a stepping stone towards effectiveness. These habits are not presented as rigid rules to follow, but as principles that, when internalized, can become a part of our very being. These habits aren't just about doing things differently, they're about seeing things differently. They're about being different. They're about transforming our lives from the inside out. And the beauty of it all? This transformation is within our reach. All it takes is the willingness to change our habits. So, are you ready to embark on this journey of transformation? Are you ready to harness the power of habits and become a more effective person? Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and that first step could be as simple as changing a habit. So, let's dive into these 7 habits and see how they could revolutionize your life. Habit 1 is all about taking responsibility for your life. Delving into the heart of proactivity, it's about understanding that you are not a passive spectator in your life's narrative. You are the author. You have the power to influence the events, situations, and circumstances surrounding you. Proactivity is a mindset, a way of looking at the world that says, I can make a difference. It's about focusing on what you can control, not what you can't. It's about making choices, not making excuses. A proactive individual doesn't wait for things to happen. They make things happen. They don't blame others for their circumstances. Proactivity is the cornerstone of effectiveness. It's the catalyst that sets the gears of success in motion. It's the first step in taking charge of your life's direction. Remember, you are the captain of your own ship. Habit 2 is about setting your destination before you start the journey. Imagine embarking on a trip without knowing your endpoint. You wouldn't know which route to take, right? The same applies to our lives. Without a clear vision for our future, we are essentially wandering aimlessly, falling prey to the winds of change and circumstance. This is where the habit of beginning with the end in mind comes into play. It's about setting goals, carving out a vision for your future, and then making decisions that align with these objectives. It's about taking control of your life, shaping your own destiny, rather than leaving it to chance. Remember, your goals are your compass, guiding you through life's journey. They provide you with direction, purpose, and motivation. They are the roadmap to your desired destination. So, where do you want to go? It's time to set your course, to begin with the end in mind and start your journey towards success. Habit 3 is about prioritizing what's truly important. Stephen Covey's 3rd habit, Put First Things First, is an invitation to manage our time and energy effectively by focusing on the things that truly matter. It's all about prioritization. Imagine your life as a jar filled with rocks, pebbles, and sand. The rocks represent the important things, your health, relationships, personal growth. The pebbles, they're the less important tasks, your job, house chores perhaps. And the sand? That's the small stuff. Social media, television, the little distractions that eat away at your time. If you start by filling your jar with sand, you'll have no room for the rocks and pebbles. But if you put the rocks in first, then the pebbles, and finally the sand, everything fits. That's the essence of put first things first. Prioritize the important things, the rocks in your life, and everything else will find its place. Focus on the important, not just the urgent. Habit 4 is about creating mutually beneficial solutions. Imagine a world where every interaction was a win-win. That's the essence of this habit. It's about seeking solutions that serve everyone involved, not just one party. This mindset is not about being nice, nor is it a quick fix technique. It is a character-based code for human interaction and collaboration. Think about it. When you cultivate a win-win mentality, you foster positive, fruitful relationships. It's a game changer, transforming competition into cooperation. Win-win thinking creates an environment of respect and mutual benefit where everyone feels valued and heard. It's like a breath of fresh air in a world often marked by win-lose or lose-lose scenarios. But remember, it requires courage and consideration. Courage to seek what you want, and consideration to understand and acknowledge what others want. It's not always easy, but the rewards are immeasurable. Strive for win-win. It's the hallmark of effective interpersonal leadership. Habit 5 is about enhancing your listening skills. Imagine a world where everyone is so eager to share their own thoughts that they forget to listen to others. Sounds chaotic, doesn't it? This is where Stephen Covey's 5th habit comes into play. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. It's a simple yet powerful principle. Before we rush to express our own ideas, it's crucial to fully comprehend the perspectives of others. It's about fostering empathy, a skill that allows us to see things from another's viewpoint. It's about truly absorbing the words spoken by others, not just hearing them. Think of it this way. When you understand others first, you are better equipped to make yourself understood. Your responses become more considerate, more relevant, and more impactful. This habit transforms communication from a one-way street into a two-way dialogue, enabling stronger connections and more effective interactions. Remember, 2 ears, 1 mouth, use them in that ratio. Habit 6 is about leveraging the strengths of others. Now let's talk synergy, a term you've probably heard a gazillion times in your life. But what does it really mean? And how can it lead to breakthrough results? In essence, synergy is the combined power of a group of things when they are working together that is greater than the total power achieved by each working separately. A mouthful, right? But let's break it down. Imagine a group of talented musicians, each playing their instruments beautifully. Now, if they all play their music individually, it would certainly be pleasant to the ears. But when they come together, when they synergize, the music they create is not just a combination of their individual sounds, but a symphony, something far more beautiful and powerful. This is the essence of synergy. It's about creating something greater than the sum of its parts. It's about recognizing that each of us has unique talents and strengths, and when we come together, we can create something incredible. Stephen R. Covey, in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, describes synergy as the highest activity of life. It's about creating new possibilities, new alternatives. It's about unleashing the creative powers within us. So, how can we apply this in our everyday life? Well, it starts with an open mind. It's about listening to others, valuing their input, and recognizing the potential in their ideas. It's about fostering an environment where everyone feels valued and heard. It's about collaboration, not competition. We need to understand that each of us sees the world from our unique perspective. And when we synergize, when we combine these different perspectives, we can solve problems more effectively, we can create more innovative solutions, and ultimately, we can achieve more. In a nutshell, synergy is not just about working together. It's about working together effectively. It's about recognizing and valuing our differences and using them to create something extraordinary. Remember, together, we can achieve more. Habit 7 is about continuous self-improvement. This is the final habit that Stephen R. Covey discusses in his influential and timeless book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Let's think of our abilities and skills as tools in a toolbox. Now, what happens when you use a tool again and again without taking care of it? It becomes dull, right? The same thing can happen to us. If we don't take the time to renew and refresh ourselves, we can become worn out, less effective, even obsolete. That's where the 7th habit, sharpen the saw, comes into play. This habit is all about taking care of ourselves on a regular basis, in a balanced way, to ensure that we stay sharp, fresh, and effective. It's about investing in ourselves, in our most important asset, our own person. Covey emphasizes that there are 4 dimensions to us as humans: physical, mental, social or emotional, and spiritual. And we need to take care of all 4 aspects to truly sharpen the saw. Physically, we can do this through regular exercise, a healthy diet, and adequate rest and relaxation. Mentally, we can keep our minds sharp by continuous learning, reading, writing, and teaching. Socially and emotionally, we can invest in our relationships, give time to others, practice empathy, and seek to understand before being understood. And spiritually, we can engage in activities that uplift us, be it meditation, reading inspirational literature, or spending time in nature. So why is this habit so important? Because it makes all the other 6 habits possible. It's the habit that makes sustainable long-term effectiveness possible. It's the habit that keeps us growing, evolving, and adapting in a rapidly changing world. In summary, sharpen the saw is not just a habit. It's a principle, a way of life. It's about never being complacent, always pushing to learn more, do more, and be more. It's about recognizing that as long as we are alive, we have the capacity to grow, to improve, to make a difference. So, let's make a commitment to ourselves right now. Let's pledge to take care of ourselves in a balanced way, to invest in our own growth and development, to keep our tools sharp, never stop growing, never stop learning. So, what can we learn from these 7 habits? Well, there's quite a bit to unpack. Stephen R. Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, provides us with a roadmap to personal and professional effectiveness. These habits, when practiced diligently, can lead to profound transformations in the way we perceive and navigate our lives. Let's take a moment to recap. The first habit, be proactive, encourages us to take charge of our lives. It's about recognizing that we are the architects of our own fate and that we have the power to shape our destiny. Then we move to the second habit, begin with the end in mind. This habit is all about vision. It's about having a clear understanding of where we want to go and what we want to achieve, and then aligning our actions accordingly. The third habit, put first things first, teaches us the importance of prioritizing. It's about focusing our time and energy on the tasks that are truly important, rather than getting caught up in the urgency of the moment. Next is the fourth habit, think win-win. This habit is about fostering a mindset of mutual benefit. It's about seeking solutions that are advantageous for all parties involved. The fifth habit, seek first to understand, then to be understood, emphasizes the importance of empathetic listening. It's about truly understanding others before seeking to be understood ourselves. Moving on to the sixth habit, synergize. We learn about the power of teamwork and collaboration. It's about leveraging the strengths of others to achieve greater results than we could on our own. Finally, the seventh habit, sharpen the saw, reminds us to take care of ourselves. It's about maintaining a balanced and renewing lifestyle that allows us to stay at our best, both physically and mentally. Each of these habits hold immense potential to increase our effectiveness in various spheres of life. They push us to take control, to envision, to prioritize, to collaborate, to empathize, and to rejuvenate. They challenge us to step out of our comfort zones and to strive towards continuous improvement. But remember, knowing these habits is just the beginning. The real magic happens when we start incorporating them into our daily lives. It's about making a conscious effort to practice these habits until they become second nature. Because, as Aristotle once said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. So let's start building these habits today for a more effective tomorrow. Remember, excellence is not an act, but a habit. So start building these habits today for a more effective tomorrow.